right, we're going to go ahead and talk about heat. Heat is the process by which energy is exchanged between objects because of a difference in their temperatures or because one object is undergoing a phase change. Okay? If you add heat to an object, okay, heat always flows from hot to cold. So if one object has a higher temperature than the other, okay, its heat is going to flow into the colder object, okay? So, and it's a process through which this exchange occurs, okay? That's not the only thing that could happen. You could also have an ice cube that's melting. It's undergoing a phase change. Its temperature is not changing during this time, okay? But heat is being added to change it from a solid to a liquid, okay? So when we talk about a temperature change, we're going to be talking about specific heat capacity, and when we talk about a phase change, we'll be talking about latent heat, and that'll be in a couple of videos to come. Now, heat is a scalar, so there's no direction associated with it, okay? And it is measured in joules in our class. You could use other units. You could use calories. You could use the British thermal unit, okay? But in our class, we are going to use joules. This symbol is the letter Q, okay? Not real sure why, possibly because they didn't know what heat was. They couldn't see it, okay? So they were talking about, how much stuff, something to change the temperature. Something is going to be added to make a phase change. And so they just called it a quantity, the quantity of something, okay? But we don't really know that that's the reason. Either way, we use the symbol Q to represent heat. Now, in everyday language, we say, oftentimes people use these words, heat and temperature, interchangeably. And they use the word heat to mean it's hot, okay? But they're not the same thing, okay? You have a temperature, okay? Your temperature or the room that you're in has a temperature, okay? It is a state function, okay? And other state functions are mass and volume. Okay, you possess these things. I have a certain mass, I have a certain volume, and I can take my temperature and know what it is. Okay, and those are quantities, they're things that I have. Okay, however, heat is a process function. Okay, similar to work. Okay, so what do we mean by this? Well, it's a process that you're going from. I don't have a certain quantity of heat, okay? Heat is transferred from one to the other, okay, in joules, but I have a certain quantity. I don't possess a certain amount. Just like I don't possess a certain amount of work, I can do work, okay? I can move something push something across the floor and do work. I move at a distance, okay? By applying a force, I've done work, but I didn't have like 15 joules when I started, and then I moved it, and I used up all 15 joules, and now I don't have it anymore, okay? It's a process function. I don't possess these things. Whereas in state functions like temperature, mass, and volume, you do.